34-foot Powercat, twin Yami 300s on the back, landed in Australia for somewhere in the region of $350,000 to $400,000. Come on, let's have a look. If you're interested in how this boat test drives, we've just been for a burn out on the, not harbour, open sea, but it's flat water. Follow the link coming up on the screen right now. My name's Dan Jones. Welcome to Dan's Boat Life. We're in Dubai. This place is awesome. It's just sunny every day. Petrol's cheap. So what more can you ask for in the world? But this is cool. So Silvercat, I was mistaking it for Silvercraft because they do have another brand called Silvercraft. Anyway, that's another story. It's all under the umbrella of the Gulf Craft Group. They're the biggest manufacturers here in Dubai. They've been around for 40 years. These guys just deliver boats all over the Middle East and to the Maldives and now to Australia. But I'm most excited about this particular one because it is quite suitable for us, and I think a few of you Yanks as well. So leave comments in the description, let me know what you think. I'll start here at the back and then I'll make my way up so Blaine can control the camera relatively easily. First things first, we have access to the transom, and you could quite clearly put a dive door or dive ladder, down here. So that's going to mean diving operations are possible. Access to both motors is easy. Shore power plug-in is just there. We have pop-up cleats on either side, and then when we get to this section, we have live bait tanks on both sides, just there. They do like their fishing here in the Middle East. Everyone seems to vibe the fishing program. We got these fold down seats just here, and so you can see that's one on the port side is in the folded up position. And then you enter this aft deck area, which is perfectly spacious. So if you were a fisho, you've got a reasonable amount of area or space to move around. Now, I'm not a fisherman, so don't take everything I say from a fishing perspective as professional opinion. I'm more of a boat driver, operator, and social boater. So the fisherman, the gun fisherman, I'll probably say some stupid things. So that's just is what it is. Fuel tankage on either side, tank here, and I assume another tank there. We've got some space underneath, and what else can I see? Okay, so just a few hydraulic pumps, bilge pumps, through hull fittings. So that's technical access back there. We got some courtesy lights making our way up the deck here. We've got a manual bilge pump here. We've got a speaker just here, rod holders here and here, fresh water in, unleaded in, and then just keep following around this area, Blaine. I want to still cover some of this for you guys. Don't trip on that, Dan. We have this aft-facing seat. Now, this boat will do 45 plus knots. She's a weapon and she's very comfortable in the chop, and I reckon she'd be a good sea boat. This would be quite an enjoyable place to run at speed. The windscreen just there gives you a moderate amount of protection from wind vortices, so you are probably going to have to take your hat off when you're doing warp speed, but it is what it is. And then you have storage just in here. This is basically an esky because it's got a drain in there and it's insulated as well, but it will act as a good storage well. This is the other technical access, same again on the other side. The only difference in this one is we've got our batteries. So we've got house crank on that side. And then I could see drains in the corners, speakers. This looks like, I don't know what that is, maybe a battery switch, not too sure. A starboard tank in just there. And then let's get to the helm. So just get all this in shot, Blaine, and I'll try and explain what's going on. We have this T-top, which stretches out to this position here, and it goes all the way forward, but the beam comes to about here on the gunnels, okay? So you do have a really good amount of protection from the sun. This one's just been fitted with basically a canvas material. That's not gonna work for us in Sydney with our rain. That'll go moldy. It doesn't rain here, so they can just put a canvas up and you can book a barbecue 8 weeks in advance. You'll know the weather's going to be fine. So I suspect there's options for other materials. I think like a sunbrella or something would work in our climate, but they don't need it here basically. So get all the dash into shot and I'll walk you through. The seat will sit 2 big blokes and 3 chicks probably. So you have, that much space. It's comfortable at rest, but from a go fast perspective, you probably want to be standing up because you've got really good throttle and wheel control from a standing position. And if you're on a longer drive, you might lean back like this and have good control, but I'm not going to be sitting all the way back there, someone of my stature anyway, because I won't be able to reach the wheel. Yummy throttles, digital, nothing out of the ordinary there. Push button start, you activate the key operation, you got your safety there. Your quick anchor windlass operation from here, and then you've got your horn on the starboard side of the wheel. What do we have here? I don't know what that is. It could be navigation lights. Garmin display on starboard, Yummy engine diagnostics down the center line, and Garmin display on port. And you do have space. You could go slightly bigger if you wanted to do that. Now, anchor light, navigation lights, no, so that's not lights, something else. Anchor light room, engine light room, stereo, spare, tank, deck, engine room blower, searchlight, ceiling light, bilge pumps, fresh water, live bait, VHF, deck wash, spreader, spare, battery. Okay, so that's an emergency. You can bridge for the batteries, GPS power on. This is an autopilot. We got fuel starboard. We got water center line, fuel port, fusion control just here. That's probably a spotlight, and then this looks like a USB charging connection, 1, 2, 3 drink holders. So hey, that's kind of cool. I'd probably put a few throw items for safety just up here, like an EPIRB, that sort of thing would go well there. And you do have a little light just here, which would, illuminate of an evening, but not when you are driving. So just coming to the midships here, we've got storage for poles, so boat hooks, etc. Are going to go well in there. I'm just going to open the floor. Okay, that's a kill tank. It is drained. The drain's just in there, and there is the option for a dunny on this one. So I want you to pay attention. The floor is high because this particular one hasn't been optioned with the dunny. Let's just double tap that camera and wake it up again. Whoop. Okay. So the floor is higher on this particular one, and there you go. And if you option it with the dunny, the floor goes, is what I was just trying to explain before the gimbal stuffed out. I'm on my travel gimbal here. It can't handle the weight of my new camera. So you can just use that as a storage room, and you get that floor at deck level, which wouldn't work as a toilet as you just saw. But if you option the dunny, the floor goes, the loo is lower, and you have space to sit up on the toilet, is what I was trying to explain. A little bit of storage there, more rod holders, midships pop-up cleats, and then just stay there, Blaine, and get all this into shot, because this bow area is expansive. This is huge. I'd love to know if there's an optional table up here, because this would be a really wonderful lunch spot, but you would really enjoy yourself hanging out up here. And with this Flexi Teak, which I'm just a huge fan of in summer or winter, because it just retains consistent temperature. On the baking hot days, doesn't burn your feet, and on the cold evenings, it still retains a consistent temperature, so it's not cold on your footsies. So this is awesome. We've got some storage underneath here. Okay, drained as well, and that's a bit deeper, so that's down to my knee, just there. We've got some speakers just here. Another, same again, I would assume. Yep. Okay, so and drained once again. We've got some safety gear in that at the moment. Then let's head up here. What do we see? Nothing under there. That's fixed. Check out the space. So if you were a fisho and you wanted some space for casting, I know that's important to them, this would be good. I think here in Dubai, I'd be inviting all these hot chicks that I see around and having dance parties up here and jumping into the water. So that's just me, but you do you. So we have facility to do the anchor up down on the quick anchor windlass, just a regular delta anchor, gal on gal chain, and you can see the two ribs either side just guiding the chain and then to road, and that's on the center line, but bucket loads of space on either side, so you would be able to put fenders and other items. I'd keep lightweight items up here in the bow so I don't weigh the front of the boat down too much. So I actually would just load this up with fenders, to be fair. So that's cool. And the other thing, I wonder, I don't know whether many catamaran people do this, but I'm a bit of a beaching kind of guy, and there's so many beaches around here. I wonder if you could retrofit a deployable ladder so you can just stick this thing on the sand and walk off from the front and leave the engines in the deep water. I don't know. I think, let's just have a look. Yeah, I reckon it could be possible. Something that folds out or clips on, and you could stow it down here. That's what you would do. You'd do a nice solid ladder with a grab handle, which just has a stainless steel fixing point and slots in there, and then you could board on the beach. I think that's totally doable. Pop-up cleats just here, grab handles, got a nice targa arch to mount the radar, horn, spotlight, and more rod holders. Anyway, I think that's it. It's not much else to show in an open boat like this, but I think from the dayboat fans that you and I are, this is, of all the boats that I've seen under the Golfcraft group, in the little boats, not the big ones, this probably gets me the most excited. And there's also a 40-footer, which can run quad rigs, so quad 300s or quad 400s, and you could even do twin 600s if you so chose, but I don't know whether the cost benefits would make sense on that one. But yeah, so that's another option. That's not here at the show, so I won't be able to show you that one. If you like what you saw here, there is actually another weapon of a boat, 47 feet with quad motors. I've done a walkthrough on it. So follow the link coming up on the screen now. Tell me what you think of that one.